Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today is my 8th review for my Sundance series that I've been doing. I have a bunch of great reviews for a bunch of Sundance movies. I saw 10 total and this is my 8th one out of the 10. And today we're going to be talking about r#J or Romeo and Juliet, which is yet another one of those movies that takes place all on either a phone or a computer. This one takes place through Instagram and social media messaging apps and all those type of things. It's directed by Carey and this is an interesting one for me because this was probably my most conflicted I've felt about any of these Sundance movies, because on one hand it is extremely well and slickly made. It has a sheen to it, that Instagram filter over the entire film that makes it feel very modern and feel very interesting. And then I have my pitfalls on the way that it was executed in terms of the Shakespeare aspect of it, which let's just jump right into this thing. There's a lot of weird choices made in this film that I just didn't really get used to by the end of it. Engels and Francesca Noel play Romeo and Juliet in this film, and I'll say that they are pretty good in this movie. However, the big thing that I want to get off right off the bat in this movie is whenever the characters are texting and talking through like the phone, through social media, they talk like normal people, they text like normal people, their language is normal, their way of their relationship building feels completely real and in our world. But whenever they are actually on camera in a FaceTime chat or talking, or you see, somebody's doing an Instagram live and you see the characters talking, having conversations, they speak in Shakespeare. They speak right out of the play. They have that way of talking that nobody on the planet talks like. Nobody talks like Shakespeare. It's so weird and bizarre, and it's such a weird imbalance of tone, and it took me out of the movie entirely every single time anybody opened up their mouths in this entire film. And in some ways it does work, like the cop in this movie, who's played by an excellent actor that I can't for the life of me remember his name, Russell Hornsby, who was the dad in The Hate U Give, and he's an excellent actor, and I think he was the only one who actually fit the tone, because he was the cop in the movie. He was kind of in Shakespeare, in the original Romeo and Juliet play, he was kind of like the king or the head of the land. He's kind of in charge. I don't remember the play of Romeo and Juliet too well, but he worked because he kind of introduced the movie, and he had his little, wrap up of the movie at the end of it, and he worked in that Shakespeare because he's an excellent actor. But I don't think any of the other actors in this film pulled it off quite as well. And like I said, I was yanked right out of the movie every single time. And the relationship between these two lead actors was really, really well done. The way that they first met, the way they first introduced each other through social media is a very real way of meeting people in our weird modern world. And it worked. The relationship that they built in the first 30 minutes of this movie was done really well. And then they just started talking, and it just, I'm telling you guys, this whole thing of speaking in Shakespeare almost ruined the entire movie for me. And when it comes to Shakespeare, for me, I really don't like Shakespeare. Like, I get the writing and his storytelling is, is tested by time. Everybody knows Shakespeare. Everybody knows the stories. You always learn about him in school and his writing, and the storylines that he has, in particular in like Hamlet or things like that, are really, really good. But in terms of Romeo and Juliet, I absolutely hate the ending of the play. And I will say this movie does the ending as effectively as it can, and in the ways that it changes the play, which, I don't, again, I don't know everything about the Romeo and Juliet play. I don't remember it beat by beat, but there were definitely some changes that I noticed, and those changes I actually really, really liked. If you have a chance to see this movie, you definitely know what I'm talking about, but there are definitely some changes that I really, really loved. And so this movie made me really just kind of mixed on it, because on one hand it is extremely well made. Like I said, the stylistic way that the director pulled off this film with that Instagram type of sheen on it, this is a gorgeously shot movie. Everything looks so crisp, and even streaming it through the Sundance website, their movies looked really good streaming through Sundance, but this one was honestly one of the prettiest movies that I watched. And also the attention to detail in how they were able to recreate Instagram and the messaging app and an iPhone, and the way that it was caught up to date in terms of the version of iOS that they use in this film. Again, the attention to detail was extremely pristine and well done. And in terms of retelling Romeo and Juliet in a modern day, I think it was an interesting way to tell that story, because when you have Romeo and Juliet and you have these two warring, the Capulets and the Montagues, and this warring back and forth that they have, and you add a social media aspect into that, and how the hate of this relationship that blossoms really does spread through social media, was a very interesting take on the original play. However, it was just really taken back by me by the dialogue and the talking of speaking in Shakespeare, which was just an extremely odd choice. And quite frankly, there are quite a bit of scenes that are just them talking like this, and I really didn't like it. I know I keep on mentioning it, but I really didn't like it. And I do want to say one more thing before I wrap up this review. There's one moment where it kind of skips ahead in time, and I felt completely lost. I thought like I missed 5 minutes of the movie. Like the playhead skipped ahead, and I missed a giant chunk of the movie. And if you guys are watching that chunk is left out for a very specific reason. So keep on watching. It felt very odd. I felt extremely lost, and honestly, they took something out that it just really, really confused me. It caught me really off guard. And again, there's just little pieces like that just kind of make me overall in this movie feel very mixed on it. So that is my review for our #J, the retelling of Romeo and Juliet through Instagram. Very, very interesting Sundance movie. It was definitely worth the watch. I think I recommend it in terms of if you like Romeo and Juliet and you want to see a modern twist on that, sure, go ahead. It's not the greatest thing I've ever seen. I didn't hate it, but I thought it was overall just pretty good. So that is my review for our #J. If you guys enjoyed this review, definitely subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment down below what you guys thought of this movie if you got a chance to see it during Sundance, or if you're watching this in the future and this movie was actually released and you saw it through whatever streaming service this is going to inevitably end up on. So thanks guys for watching this video. Watch all my Sundance reviews, and I hope to see you all in my next one.